A few weeks ago, we played a game. I showed you this clip. And your guys' job was to build a build around that clip. Winner was the most upvoted and they get their own special video. That is this video. Let's go. The winner of this challenge was Sir Aaron Game Guy. Congratulations. The build you're about to witness was built by Sir Aaron Game Guy, so all credit goes to him. But Sir Aaron Game Guy isn't the only winner. I'm also a winner because I have this rad shirt. This video is brought to you by an amazing line of clothes from Obvious Mimic. Not only do they have the amazing Monster t-shirt line with things like the Beholder's Barbershop or Mind Flayer Hypnotherapy, they also come with Taurus shirts from Waterdeep or the Underdark or other locations in your D&D adventures. I've been wearing these shirts quite a bit, and they do certainly turn heads and sometimes begin conversations, which is always fun. There's something about repping your D&D love in a very stylish way that's hard to beat. Alright, with that, back into the build. So we're starting off with our lineage. We're going into Variant Human, and we're going to be taking the Tavern Brawler feat. The main use case for the Tavern Brawler feat, of course, being smacking people with our bow like the guy did in the clip, but it also allows us to do a bunch of other things that we'll get to in a minute. Until then, we're going to be talking about stats. We have Dexterity as our primary, Wisdom as our secondary, and Constitution as our tertiary. Very standard monk stats. As for our leveling structure, we're going 6 into Kensei Monk, we're going 4 into Gloomstalker Ranger, and then 4 into Battlemaster Fighter. From there, we're going to be jumping back into Kensei Monk for the rest of our career. So let's talk about level 1. Level 1, we're going to pick up Monk Martial Arts. Now, the cool thing about taking Tavern Brawler, level 1, and then going into Monk is it sets us up to be Jackie Chan. This is the Jackie Chan setup where we can pick up a bucket and it becomes our monk weapon and we can do a bunch of fun things with it, or we can pick up a towel and use that as well. I honestly think Monk should just get proficiency in improvised weapons, but we have it here, so let's take advantage of it and get into that Jackie Chan flavor. That being said, it's not going to be our primary weapon. We can take a spear as our primary weapon at this point, or a bow staff, and that'll be just fine, but we also want to make sure we have a short bow for ranged options. At level 2, we get key points, we get dedicated weapon, and we get our key options. Key points are great. We're probably just going to be using them for flurry of blows to keep our damage up. If we're doing more of a ranged play style, we might use it for step of the wind to get to where we need to go, or patient defense for some extra defenses. Dedicated weapon is going to set us with a D10 weapon. We can take a weapon that's normally a D8 and then it becomes a D10, as opposed to having the normal D8 for monk, so a bit of a damage boost for us. We also get unarmored movement, so now we're a speedy boy. Level 3, we go Kensei. Kensei gives us a couple different things. In melee, it's going to give us an AC buff at the cost of a bit of damage. We have to make an unarmed strike as part of our action instead of doing an attack with our D10 weapon. So we're going from a D10 to a D4. So it's a pretty significant damage reduction in order to get that +2 AC, which is a fairly decent bump to our AC. So it's a give or take. But what isn't a give or take is our ranged options are now more powerful. As a bonus action, we can add a D4 to all of our ranged damage. This isn't as good as Flurry of Blows, but it also doesn't cost key. So it does make our just being ranged more enticing for us. So maybe we are ranged primary, and then secondary we can do our melee things. That's probably how I'd pull this off. Level 4, I'm going to be taking Sharpshooter. Kensei is all about accuracy, and with that accuracy, we want to make sure that we're going to be hitting pretty much all of our attacks. We want to make sure they count. That's where Sharpshooter comes in. We can do that 10 extra damage and make our attacks extremely high quality. Level 5, we get Extra Attack and Stunning Strike. Extra Attack is the bigger deal for us. Stunning Strike is, we're not spec'd for it, so it's going to be decent at best, but Extra Attack is going to be fantastic. This already synergizes with our bonus action, or we get a D4 to every single attack, so now we get 2d4 instead of 1d4. Our monk damage also bumps to a d6 at this point, but again, that's actually not the biggest deal for us because we're focused more on range at this point. Level 6 is actually a really big level for us, and it's a combination of a couple different features. Key fueled attacks from 3, focus aim through 5, and then at level 6 we get our second Kensei feature. Now these all combine to do something very niche for the Kensei. So at level 5 we get the ability to put key into our attacks to make them more accurate. So we roll the hit, and whatever we roll, we can add 2 for 1 key, 4 for 2 key, or 6 for 3 key. Now typically I wouldn't do that 3 key, I would keep it to 1 or 2 and just make sure that it hits. So it changes misses to hits, That's pretty important when we're using Sharpshooter. But what's interesting is this combines with our key-fueled strikes from 3. So now not only do we change a miss to a hit, we also get a bonus action ranged attack on top of it. That's probably going to be Sharpshooter. That's probably going to be accurate. So we're going to be dishing out a ton of damage. This is going to be the most optimal use of our key points for this build. But what Kensei does at 6 is it allows us, even if we don't miss, now we can spend a key point, do some extra bonus damage on that attack, and because we used a key point, we can now use our key fueled strikes and get a bonus action ranged attack as well. So where all the other monks have to miss in order to do their bonus action attacks, we can hit and still do bonus action attacks, along with dealing some additional damage. What I like about this build is we are sitting at range. We're smacking people with these high accuracy, high damage attacks. Then they get up close to us, and that's when we can start using our improvised weapons. We can start using our bow to smack people around. We can pull out a dagger and use it as a monk weapon. We can get in there and tangle, and I really like that. Next up, we're going into Ranger. Ranger 1 is going to give us Hunter's Mark as well as an expertise. I'm looking at an expertise in athletics, because since we have Tavern Brawler, we can punch someone in the face and then bonus action grapple them. So by going expertise in athletics, we can be a half decent grappler, still not specialized in it, but it'll help us throw people around. Alternatively, we can look at stealth or acrobatics, as that does resemble the character from the clip a bit better. Level 2 in Ranger, we get archery fighting style. This is massive for this build. We're all about accuracy, and this just increases our accuracy, making us deadly sharpshooters. Finally, we're going into Gloomstalker. Gloomstalker is deadly. On our first attack in a combat, we're going to get an extra attack that includes a D8 attached to it. That's just more sharpshooter damage. But then on top of that, if we're in darkness, we basically become invisible because anyone with dark vision can't see us. So this is going to give us a lot of opportunities where we're attacking at advantage, which increases our accuracy even more. Now we're getting more attacks, more damage, more accuracy, everything this build loves. On top of that, we're going to get a bonus to our initiative. This character seems like someone who takes the initiative, so I actually really like that flavor-wise. It's also pretty good combat-wise. At 4th level, we need to grab a dex bump. Now, if we had an odd dex, we can pick up a half feat here. Skill expert can let us pick up another skill in expertise, so we can grab that acrobatics or stealth or vice versa, or that athletics, whatever you're feeling. Alternatively, we can grab the piercer feat to do a bit of extra damage. That'll be good with our ranged options, but probably not so much with our improvised options. From here, we're going into Fighter. Fighter 1, we're going to pick up a fighting style. We're going to pick up the 2-weapon fighting style. Now, this is a bit janky, I'm not going to lie. Monks already get bonus action attacks, so we'd probably be better off taking the dueling fighting style. However, the clip had him using dual daggers, and I think it would be really cool if we have moments to pull out our dual daggers and whip around like a whirlwind and have a lot of fun with that. So we're going 2-weapon fighting here, but if you're going for straight optimization, probably dueling here. We also get a bit of healing at this level, but the more important part is moving on to level 2, where we get Action Surge. Action Surge and Gloomstalker are like peanut butter and jelly. You mix the two together and you're getting an extra bonus attack on that first round of combat, so now you're getting 2 for the price of 1. You can do a lot of attacks, and there are a lot of accurate sharpshooter attacks. Things are gonna die. At level 3, we're getting Battlemaster. Battlemaster is going to give us some maneuvers. We're looking at trip attack, we're looking at ambush, and we're looking at parry. The reason why? All of these were represented in the clip. Trip attack is great for when someone gets into melee with us because we can knock them down and then have advantage on all of our attacks against them. Alternatively, we can shoot someone in the foot from range and trip them out there. This is good for hobbling an enemy who's trying to escape or dropping someone who's next to all of our melee combatants. It's a very flexible maneuver. Then we have Ambush. Ambush allows us to get a bonus to our stealth and initiative rolls. So we already have good initiative. This takes our initiative to 11. So we're going to be going first often and probably killing something before they have a chance to go. Powerful combination. And then we have Parry. Parry takes the normally pretty squishy monk's chassis and allows it to be fairly tanky. If we're willing to pump enough maneuvers into Parry, it gives us a significant health boost. All of these put together, and it's pretty fun that we can be blasting people from range. Someone gets close and all of a sudden we start going kung fu on them, using our bow to knock them over, punch the crap out of them, using improvised weapons. It's a ton of fun. And every now and again we pull out those dual daggers and get to carving our initials into someone. This was a really fun build. Another big shout out to Sir Aaron Game Guy who put it all together. I'm looking forward to this next clip build, and I hope you guys are too. But with that, I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.